Hey, welcome to another video on my channel. It's me, it's Sherry, and listen, let's jump right in. I hope you all had an amazing weekend. We about to jump right in. Today I'm gonna keep this video as short as possible. But today we're just gonna talk about just rejection, right? Because right now I'm just gonna really be basically talking about what I'm dealing with right now in this present moment. Just what I'm dealing with right now. And it seems like right now I'm dealing with a lot of rejection, right? But it seems like I've been dealing with rejection all of my life. Yeah, I feel like that almost every area, every stage, every different stage, I'm dealing with some type of rejection, right? And it never gets, the more you deal with it, it never seems like it gets easier to deal with, right? So let me just say that, right? And you would think, as much rejection as I've dealt with, you would think I would have a handle on it, and you would think I would know how to maneuver. But it just seems like that at every stage, it just seems like, well, dang, why am I still, like, why, like, when do I get a break? That's what you start to think. At least that's what I'm thinking right now. But right now, I'm dealing with a season to where it seems like I don't know, I feel like this season in my life right now, I feel like I'm at the worst season that I've ever been in a very, very long time. I've always been very independent because I've had to. I've had to really learn how to survive in life early on. I just had to learn how to survive. Just learning how to kind of deal with life challenges on my own. Like, I've dealt with majority of every challenging moment that I've been through in my life is something that I've dealt with on my own. Well, of course, me and God. Of course, God has been my source of getting me through, right? But when I say on my own, I mean like not always having that support, or not always having someone who I could lean on. Even when I was married, right? I felt like that in most of those moments, or in majority of that relationship, I felt like that I was alone in certain things. So just even being married and having a partner to where you felt like you really don't got your ride or die type deal, right? But right now I'm dealing with a season to where some of you know that I'm looking for employment, and I feel like I've been in financial banking for over 18 years. I've been in financial banking for over 18 years. I know financial banking backwards and frontwards. Like, all the experience that I have, I'm just really kind of shocked that I keep getting denied, right? And I'm only and of course I'm applying back to financial banking, or looking back into going back into the banking world, because that's the most of the experience that I have, right? Throughout my entire life, that is the majority of the career or working experience that I have, right? So because right now I need a job, right? I'm trying to just go back to what I know, and just trying to do what I have to do in order to kind of get things stabilized for me and my kids. I have a ton of experience, and it just seems like that. Here's the thing, I've been applying for some of everything, right? But it seems like majority of the rejection that I'm receiving is from the financial institutions, and I can't seem to grasp. At first I was like, okay, well, maybe God's not leading me to go back into financial banking, because here's the thing, I know why I left financial banking from the beginning. I know why I left financial banking from the beginning. I know why I left. But because of the situation that I'm in, and I need work, I'm going back to what I know. I'm going back to where it's like, okay, I could probably get a job quickly in this field, right? If I just do what I got to do, while working on what I'm really ultimately, the goal of what I really want, right? But it seems like I'm getting so much rejection from the financial institutions. At first I was like, okay, well, maybe God's not leading me towards that. So I started looking at other opportunities, start putting in applications here, there, really started to really dig deeper into my resume, getting that together, really trying to gear my cover letters to really making sure that my skills and my experiences and all of this is lining up and it's matching the skills that they're looking for in these different positions, right? I'm really trying to I've been working hard. At least I feel like I've been working hard on like my resumes. I've been working hard on my cover letters. Like I've been working hard on some applications that I have been applying for require you to have a statement of qualification, and it's like a 3-page, and I've been working on those. Like I'm just like, man, like, because I've been out of the game for so long and having to apply. I'm like, wow, statement of qualifications, that's new. It's something I've never heard of until I've come across some of the opportunities that I've been coming across, right? So I'm just working on stuff, working on things, really trying to put my best foot effort, spending hours on this stuff, really putting in the work, doing my due diligence to make sure that I'm presenting myself in the best way possible on paper, right? When they look at my paper, okay, they're calling me up wanting to interview me, right? But it just seems like that every application that I've been put, not every application, because there is a lot of applications that are still in that processing mode and I haven't heard back from. But it do seem like that I have been receiving the most rejection when I'm applying back into the financial banking world, right? And I'm just like, and here's the thing, I'm applying for positions, like I'm overqualified for the positions, to say the least, right? To just kind of put it in a way, and not me trying to be like arrogant about, but I'm applying for positions that is like, oh yeah, she could do this. Like I was doing this over here, like she can come in and do this. Like I'm applying for positions that's under the position of what I left, right? And I think it was it Saturday or was it Sunday morning? I think it was Saturday morning, to where I looked at my email and I saw another rejected email, right? The whole email, sorry, we looked at your application and we found someone, we went with a candidate, or we decided to go with other candidates that are more suitable. And I'm like, more suitable? Did you see my skills? This is what I'm thinking. I'm like, man, I think it was Sunday morning, because I was a little discouraged even about going to church on yesterday. But I think it was Sunday morning when I looked at my email, because every day I'm checking my emails constantly to kind of see what's coming through, But in that, I just really wanted to kind of dig a little bit deeper into rejection, right? And yesterday evening, I really started to look at something, and I even made a post about rejection redirecting you. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna share just what I'm dealing with at this present moment. And that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about how rejection is redirection, right? Rejection is hard. No matter what area, how you're dealing with it, no matter what season, or no matter what you're dealing with, whether it's you're dealing with rejection in relationships, whether you're dealing with rejection from family. Like I started off as a kid, a baby, being rejected by my parents, right? And how that affected me growing up, right? So like I said, I've been dealing with rejection pretty much all my life, or whatever, just trying to maneuver and go through those emotions of being rejected once again. But in this job field, I really kind of am a little shocked that I'm going through this, because I'm like, I got so much experience, and why isn't something coming up for me? Why aren't I even getting a call back for an interview? Like, you're rejecting me before you're giving me a chance to even to see me in person and to at least hear the experience that I have, right? It doesn't feel good to be rejected no matter how you're dealing with rejection. Let's just put it out there. It don't feel good. Rejection can make you question yourself. It makes you question. In my case, it's making me question my qualifications. Like it's questioning, like I'm starting to question, like, well, dang, my skills, my, everything that I do, like all my skills that I've gained throughout the years, like none of that is working for me right now, right? Rejection can make you have doubt within yourself. Rejection can make you kind of feel like that you're not enough, right? Rejection can make you feel isolated. And like I said, even when I was married, right? You could be with somebody and still feel kind of like isolated and like you're all alone in this thing, right? And sometimes when you're going through rejection, you feel like nobody understands. You feel like nobody is dealing with what you're dealing with, right? And that's the reality. Sometimes you feel like that. You feel like people really don't understand your situation or whatever, and you feel like you can just feel alone in it, and it can cause you to kind of really pull back and kind of keep to yourself because you're really trying to figure out, like, why is this happening? Why aren't I getting the callbacks? Why aren't people seeing me and thinking that I'm enough, right? Even in relationships, right? I've been rejected in relationships, or maybe I've to where you really kind of growed feelings for a person and you really kind of fell deep for a person, but to find out that they don't really like you the way that you like them. Like you feeling rejected in that moment. You're like, well, dang, why am I not enough type deal, right? So I'm just bringing up different examples, and these are all things that I'm either dealing with or things that I've been through. I'm just being transparent because I know I like to just kind of be transparent. But I had to come to the scripture this morning, Jeremiah 29:11, where I had to really go back to that and just kind of remind myself and really just kind of encourage myself in that. Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, right? Those plans are to prosper me, right? So even though I may be dealing with some rejection moments right now, listen, I need to remember that God knows the plan that he has set for my life. And the plans that he has set for my life is going to prosper me. Them plans are not going to harm me. Those plans aren't going to have me doubting myself. Those plans aren't going to have me feeling disappointed or sad or defeated. Like, those plans are going to prosper me. Those plans are going to take me higher in God. It's going to take me to another level of where God is taking me. Like, the assignment is greater than what you see, Sherry. And I had to remember that. Those plans is to give me a hope and a future. Man, so the plans that God have set up for me, even though I'm facing what I'm facing right now, right? I'm applying for the jobs, and it's not just about me applying for, and maybe it's God telling me that, no, I don't need you to go back to what you've already known. Maybe I don't need you to go back to what's comfortable for you, because I did that for so long. But I'm trying to set you up and really put you somewhere to where it's going to give you hope. You're going to be happy. You're going to be you're going to be excited. You're going to really have joy in this thing, to give you a future that's going to set you up for years to come, right? Like, I don't know, maybe that's the reminder that I needed this morning, because I'm really struggling, kind of dealing with this rejection, and really dealing with the fact that all this experience I got and nothing is coming up for me right now, right? But listen, I say all of that to say is that, man, we have to remember that no matter what we're dealing with, you got to go back to Jeremiah 29:11, and you got to remember that God has a plan for your life that is set up for success. God has a plan that's set up for your life that's greater, that's beyond what you think, right? It's time out for us just doing what we have to do, like mediocre little thinking and stuff like that. No, God is bigger and he's greater than that. And it's time, it's time for us to kind of really walk in that confidence, and knowing that everything that I have set up for you is for a greater purpose. Like, there's more. There's more than just that. There's more than just settling for that. Like, no, I want to put you in a different position. I need to put you in a place to where you can be a blessing for where I need you to be, right? And I needed that. And listen, let's jump into these 3 tips that I have that's going to help us to stay positive and to stay focused when we're facing those moments of rejection. No matter what you're dealing with, no matter what season you may be dealing with, man, we have 3 amazing tips that's going to help us to just stay positive and stay focused when we're dealing with those moments that may not feel so good, right? The first tip I have, let's reframe rejection as redirection, right? So let's allow those moments, those challenging moments, however they may come, to stir us in a way that's going to take us towards greater. Let's think of that, right? You know what? I may have been giving the no here, or I may have gotten the denial email here, but let me go ahead and reframe my thinking and be like, you know what? That was a no for a reason, right? Because there's something greater ahead. There's something more promising that God has for me, right? And what I have to start thinking of is that, you know what? I know what I want to make. I know what I was making before, right? I know the salary that the salary that I was making annually, right? And I know now what I want to make. I know what I'm worth, the dollar amount that I'm worth receiving, right? So I need to kind of start redirecting that. Like, you know what? There's something greater ahead. The money's gonna be right. The location's gonna be right. The flexibility is gonna be right. You know, the flexibility of me wanting to be more available for my kids. I want to be able to have them participate in sports and activities and things like that, right? So the flexibility that I need of being a working mom, the position that God has for me is going to be that, right? So let me not be so negative, or let me not be so upset of all of the rejection that I may be getting, because there's greater ahead. There's something better that has my name on it. And what I'm learning is that I am the only Sherry Monique Anderson that there is. There may be other Sherrys out here, but I am the only Sherry Monique Anderson, and God knows exactly what I need. He knows what I want, and he knows what I desire, right? And he's going to give me that opportunity that's going to fit all of that, right? So I need to reframe that rejection as redirection. Okay, it's redirecting me to help me to remember and remind me every time I get the no, every time I'm looking at like, man, they ain't even interview me, right? Something greater is ahead. And who's to say? I may get an offer. Here, God is so amazing to where I may get the best offer of my life and may not even have to interview, right? So I may not even have to interview for the next opportunity that God has for me. You know what? But I'm just praying for the best to come. The second tip. Let's get into this second tip. We're going to celebrate those small wins. The small wins, we are going to celebrate the small wins. So in my case, let me acknowledge the efforts that I'm putting in. Let me acknowledge the efforts of that. You know what? It's been years. It's been years since I looked at my resume. It's been years since I looked at my cover letter. Let me acknowledge the fact that, you know what? I'm taking the time, I'm taking the hours, I'm getting up every day, and I'm putting in that time to reframe my resume, to make it be more suitable for all the experience that I have gained over the past years, right? Stuff that I even forgot about, to where I'm like now putting that and structuring it into my resume, into my cover letter. I'm taking the time out to where I'm coming across now that some of the opportunities that I have been looking at and that I have been applying for, some of these opportunities are requiring statement of qualification letters. I don't know if you've heard of those, but to where it's like a 3-page paper, and it's pretty much asking you to kind of answer certain questions. And the two that I did was like it needed to be a minimum of 3 pages, right? So I'm putting in that effort. I'm putting in that effort to really answer these questions and making sure that my skills and my experience is lining up for the position that I am applying for, right? So let me acknowledge that. Let me acknowledge the fact that I'm getting up every day. I'm treating it like a work day. I'm not wasting time. I'm getting up every day and looking for the opportunity. And every day that I see another opportunity, I need to congratulate myself and celebrate that small win, that, you know what, I saw another opportunity that I didn't see yesterday, and I went ahead and put my name in the pot for that. Whether you get the call back or not, you still put yourself out there to be seen. I got to celebrate that. And be happy in celebrating that and have joy in that. This is the third tip. Our third tip for today is to stay focused on your long-term goals. Let's stay focused on our long-term goals. We got to remember to keep our eyes on the bigger picture. Keep your eyes on the bigger picture. You know what the ultimate goal is. You know where you want to be. You know what you want. Keep your eyes on the ultimate goal. Remind yourself every day that, you know what, that didn't happen, but this is the bigger picture. This is what I'm working towards. So all of that, all of the denial emails, the rejection, the no's that came with it, you know, all of that experiences is helping me to get to what I really want, right? It's allowing space. It's allowing you to not waste time in something that wasn't even meant for you. Right? It's allowing, yeah, that's good. It's allowing you not to waste time in a position or with someone that wasn't even meant for you. So be thankful for the no. Sometimes we got to be thankful for the no's. And then sometimes that rejection, sometimes the rejection is helping to grow us, right? God's timing is everything, right? So sometimes the no comes because there's still some growing that I have to do. There's still some things within me I have to do. So sometimes the no comes because I may not be ready for certain people or certain avenues or whatever it may be. Sometimes we got to think of it like that, right? So allow that time to still continue to work on you, whatever that looks like. Allow that time to be able to still work on you, to still be able to grow, to still be able to work on those areas that you need to work on, that is making you a better person so that you can deal with the greater opportunities that God has for you. All right? I hope that this video was as encouraging to you as it was for me. If anything, it definitely gave me the reminder. It gave me the reminder that I needed. And it gave me a different perspective on how I need to approach the rejection that I'm receiving right now. All right? And I hope it did that for you guys too. Listen, you guys please like and subscribe to my channel. Don't miss an opportunity to chat in and to connect with me as we are downloading and uploading videos every week. All right, I'll see you guys on the next video. Have an amazing day.